He's roaring like a lion.
I'll show you how to tie the Cream Caddis. I'm going to use the Hens normal UVB 18. I'm going to use the Hens UV dubbing blend number 4. And I've got a mixture of brown dubbing that I've mixed myself and colored myself or dyed myself. Some scutback or lava lace, whatever you want to call it. I know that Hens has got body stretch. I'm using a Hens body stretch, and then just a normal thread, very thin thread that I'm going to use. Okay, and some silver wire that I've plucked from any old wire. Right, so I'm going to start off by starting my fly, tying, and I'm using a Knappik size 10, a size 8 Knappik scud hook. Okay, it's a very thick wired hook, it's a very strong hook, stronger one from the Knappik hooks. Okay, I'm going to start off by tying in my body stretch, and I want to apologize beforehand for the camera. It's a normal camera I'm using, it's not the best. As you can see, I'm pulling back and tighten it, and I'm going quite far back on the hook. As you can see, it's quite far back here. I don't stop there on top, I stop quite far at the back here. Okay, and then I'm going to tie in my silver wire, which will be the ribbing. Okay, and I put that flush on the hook shank, and I'll tie that forward. And the unfortunate thing about it is it's creating a bit of a bulk, which I don't appreciate, but that's okay. Then I'm going to take my dubbing, my cream color dubbing, and I'll make a noodle which is tapered from very thin to the thickness I want it to the rest of the body. I will fluff it out before dubbing it so it grips nicely onto the thread. I'm going to zoom out quickly so you can see the taper. Just need to zoom out here. Where do I zoom out? So you can see the taper of this. It's from thin to thick, and I hope that makes sense. Thin when I'm going to start, and thick to the front. Okay. Alright. So then I'll start dubbing it. I'll move my dubbing forward by pushing with my fingers on the tip part. And I'll pull my body stretch back again. And I'll start, and I want it very tight on the body. So when I come here, I'll spin it a bit again. Although the body is very slender. And just add a bit more there. There you go. About halfway of the hook, the shank, and then I'll add some of my UV blend, the yellow, it's number 04, my Hens UV blend, and I'll add the same thickness as the body. I'll add this UV blend. I don't think it is so much about the UV. This yellow is just a great mix. Okay, I want to make sure it's like tight and bulky. There you go. And then I'll add my brown hare's ears mix with some flash in it. It's a mix I made myself. I'm going to start off again with a thick part, noodling down to a thinner part, so it makes a taper to the end of the fly, to the eye of the hook. It's okay if it's a bit rough. I'm gonna make a hand over hand knot just to keep my thread in place there while I'm making the ribbing. I'll take my silver wire once to the opposite side to what my cotton is going. Pull my stretch tight over the body, and this first one is very important for me because it normally pulls the body stretch around the hook shank, which you don't want. So I'm pulling to the opposite side of where I'm pulling my, winding my wire, so I'll pull the stretch towards the opposite side. And I'll make us just don't really count the windings. I'm just trying to keep the space the same and try to keep the body stretch on top of the hook shank, and I'll pull it tight. I want it to be like a tight, otherwise it moves around and lose place while fishing, because as you know the rapids are rough. And then I'll lightly take my thread over the wire. If you do it tight, it's gonna unwind the wire. Then instead of cutting it, I'll break it. Then my body stretch, I'll pull as hard as possible to the front and then cut it. And that's the fly. Take my whip finish knot and I'll whip finish it. I'll make 2 knots. Always make 2 knots to get the best quality knot in there and make sure the fly is quality. And then what I'll do is I'll take my Koki pen, my permanent marker, and I'll color the thread black, and on top, onto a halfway of the yellow hot spot, if you want to call it, I'll color it black on top. And that's the look that you get. And then I'm going to take my head cement and I'll put head cement onto that black marked part on top of the hook. And some hair is going to get some glue on, and that's okay. I'll even put a little bit more towards the back there. It's not necessary to do this, but I like doing it. Gives it a nice shine, brings out the color, puts on the light. And that's my Cream Caddis. Very simple fly. I like it to be tapered here at the back, so it's a thin part of the dubbing, very thin, and make it thicker to the front and then thin to the end again. So you've got the tapered body. Otherwise it starts off very thick and big at the back.